Ready for this?
Yeah. Oh, it's a video.
Yeah, me too. I really like.
What are you doing? She's coming with us. What are you talking about? Who are you? I'm your Republican congressman. Now that we're in charge, we're rounding up illegals. She was born here. She's a citizen. I don't care. She looks like one of them. But don't worry. When she's in prison in El Salvador, she'll have lots of company.
What the heck did we just watch?
Fear-mongering is what we watched.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't address this other than people actually believe it. What did you, well, Mr. Producer, tell me what you observed in the video. What do you think, what's happening here?
Well, the appearance is that this guy is letting his girlfriend be taken away.
By who?
By your Republican congressman.
By ICE.
By ICE.
ICE, baby.
By your Republican. And they made a big point to say that. You're Republican.
You're a Republican congressman, right? This is sad because the propaganda they putting out, they're not even trying to hide that it's propaganda anymore.
It was such an over the top. It was just over the top. It was, and they just made sure to get the one guy. Oh, and I'm your Republican congressman.
Yeah.
So that you would not miss that point at all.
While they're covering her mouth so she can't speak. And
I'm
then,
your Republican congressman. Yeah.
At the end, he like rubs his nose on her face, all seductively, like he's gonna like essay this lady. Mm-hmm. It's so sick, man.
It was, again, way over the top, but people are gonna believe this.
They're gonna believe this. They already do.
Mm-hmm. Right. They do.
Let's read, we gotta point out why this is such blatant wrong and propaganda here. It's so stupid that, before we even go into that, let's pull up a picture of who they should have. Yeah. Why didn't they show these gentlemen? Why weren't these gentlemen being captured? I wonder why.
These fine gentlemen.
They look like upstanding American citizens to me. Why not? Why weren't these guys being captured? Do you think that could have like swayed people? Oh, it wouldn't have scared the white young liberals if those guys had been taken away with tattoos all over their face. Let's go to our point number one. Why is this a lie?
So, why is this a lie? Fictional scenario presented as fact. The scenario, an American citizen being seized by ICE and threatened with deportation to an El Salvadorian prison, is highly implausible under U.S. law, as ICE's mandate is to enforce immigration laws against non-citizens, not citizens. Portraying this as a real event without clear disclaimers, labeling it as satire, misleads viewers into believing such actions are plausible, sowing fear and distrust.
This is insane because if you look at what's going on here, they're trying to take the same things that make us scared of illegal immigrants coming in and use it against us. We're going to take American citizens into El Salvadorian prisons. How? How does that work? So you're just going to, these people, man. And it's blatant propaganda. They're just going to show this and then have a woman just in a weird red dress just coming off of a date and she just gets captured, covered her mouth, and he's sniffing the side of her cheek. This is what y'all believe ICE is doing? Come on, man. Let's if you could read the next point for me.
Sure. Point number 2, why it's a lie. Here we go. The exaggerated vilification of ICE agents. The depiction of ICE agents sneaking up, grabbing the woman, and covering her mouth to silence her paints them as cartoonishly villainous. While ICE has faced criticism for aggressive tactics, this portrayal amplifies their actions into a theatrical extreme, potentially misrepresenting standard procedures to incite outrage or fear.
That's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to incite outrage and fear. And you see did you notice what he said? He was like, she looks like one of them.
Right, looks. They're planting. Yeah. They're using all those classic tactics, and yeah, it's just maybe this is true. Like,
Yeah.
come on, if you have any bit of common sense and some knowledge,
They
no.
showing you what liberals actually believe. And they really believe this, that ICE comes in and takes anybody who looks Mexican or looks Latino or looks Salvadorian. That is not what's going on. They're not even taking regular people, they're taking the worst of the criminals. It's disgusting to play this off and to try to show this propaganda as if this is what's going on here. And to think that, like, somebody out there is going to see that and be like, oh my gosh, we need to stop this right away. Look at what ICE is
We need to stop our Republican congressman.
doing. Yeah, I'm the Republican congressman. As somebody's being kidnapped right behind me. I love to kidnap people. And she's going to be, what did he say? He said some phrase about, she's going to be in good hands. What the
It was
heck?
almost like watching a James Bond movie. You know, he's just so over the top, this villain. It's like,
Even worse, like almost
wow.
like a Inspector Gadget bad guy.
Oh, that's way over the top. That is way terrible. Oh man,
I'll
that's
get
just
you,
terrible.
you mangy kids. Like, come on, like a Scooby Doo bad guy. This is terrible, man. These people really think that it's so cartoonishly bad that it's insane that they actually get away with this propaganda, and shows how stupid the average Democrat or liberal actually is to believe this stuff. We can go to the next point.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Racial stereotyping. The video singles out a woman of Latin descent and has the congressman assume she's illegal based on her appearance. This reinforces harmful stereotypes that equate Latinx identity with undocumented status, misleading viewers about the complexity of immigration enforcement and fueling racial bias.
That's what it does. It's in fueling. They want it to be sides. They want you to look at these type of situations and think, oh, look, these evil white men are capturing innocent Latina little girls. They pick this young looking, fairly attractive young woman and they say, look, this is who they're taking away. But they don't show you how many people they catch bringing over, SA victims, bringing over, trafficked young girls. They said like it's some crazy statistic that almost like 60% of all the young girls brought over the border are sex trafficked, which means they've been SA'd on the way over here. That's a sad statistic that people don't want to talk about, because all these people are coming over here are not just looking for jobs. A lot of them are evil people. They're trying to do people. Look at the raids and the stuff that's been going on. The rebellion. Look at how they're acting. These aren't people that want to assimilate peacefully into the country. They're not people that's just taking a walk down the street. Some of these people are hardened criminals, man. And to think you just gonna convince us with this propaganda, oh my gosh, man. Let's go to the next point here.
Okay. Unrealistic congressional involvement. A Republican congressman personally intervening in an ICE operation, making inflammatory remarks, and engaging in predatory behaviors, sniffing her face, is far fetched. Congress members don't typically participate in field operations.
I thought that was funny to
Right.
point that out.
Yeah. And this portrayal exaggerates their role to demonize a political group, misleading viewers about political processes.
Yes, it's not giving you the actual political process or laws that ICE is abiding by. And that they do that on purpose. They're acting as if congressmen go around with ICE agents and say, "Look, he looks Mexican. Get him." That's not what's going on. What's going on is even worse than that, because just like I pointed out last week, there are people who have been arrested multiple times for very violent crimes who have not been taken out of the country, even though we know they're criminals. We know. It's not like we're just selecting random people off the street. How about we start, and this is what Trump has said too. Let's start with the criminals we know. And that's what's going on. You see these people in the ice raids, they're not acting civilized. They're not saying, man, I love this country. They're saying, F America. We could read the next one.
Okay. Here we go. Sensationalized dialogue for shock value. The congressman's line, when we put her in prison in El Salvador, she'll have lots of company, paired with seductive behavior, is overtly provocative and unrealistic. Such dialogue is designed to shock rather than inform, using fear mongering to paint Republicans as sadistic and corrupt.
Right. Because they can't paint you as the good guy in this. They have to show you that the Republicans are evil. They're the ones rounding people up, putting them in concentration camps, and then putting them in an El Salvadorian prison. And these women are going to go to a male Salvadorian prison and get essayed, and I'm going to be there and watch it. That's what they want you to think. And it's sick because it's like, you can't even do your job as an ICE agent without being demonized. This is how they want to portray you, that you just kidnap people by covering their mouth, keeping them there to witness so the boyfriend can witness his girlfriend being taken. That's how they want you to think that these things go down. And it's actually not. It's sad that people actually believe this nonsense. And it's like, oh yeah, so that they talked about the sexualized imagery, but it's like, even the way of going overtly and saying he's gonna grab her face and like sniff it and make these rude comments. Who does that, man?
Yeah, it's like a bad Inspector Gadget episode, or Scooby Doo. It's such an over the top. You're trying to just scream, "I'm the villain."
Yes.
It's like, oh come on, if you.
By the way, I'm
Mhm.
bad. I'm bad. I'm bad. They gotta let you know they bad. Recognize who's bad. They gotta let you know that they're bad guys. It's not that they believe that they're protecting the country, or that they're doing anything that they think is like honorable in any way by protecting the borders. Nope. They're the bad guys that get a kick out of it. They love to capture people. They like to put their hands around your mouth and let you see your family crying as you get carried away. They get joy out of it. It's kind of sick and twisted. And it's the opposite of what's going on. I think that was like the last. Was that what was that? Did they have another point? Like,
Yeah,
no.
we had a couple more points.
Okay, yeah, read some of those.
Yeah, it was the sexual imagery, the amplification of fear, the sniffing of the woman's face and caressing her cheek introduces a predatory sexualized element that's highly unlikely in a real ICE operation. This fear mongering tactic exploits viewers' emotions, particularly fears of abuse, to vilify authorities and politicians.
Yep, and that's what they want to do because they can't actually show you the truth and get anything done. They have to villainize the opposition. They have to show you that big evil Republicans, like they did years ago, they're going to kill your grandmother. They're going to take away Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security. They have to do that to win.
Yeah, they're playing on fear and emotion.
Yep.
That's
all they do.
That's all they do.
And it's only going to get worse. What's the next point?
So the last point that we've got is polarization through political targeting. So my point, specifying a Republican congressman as the villain ties the scenario to a political party, implying Republicans universally support extreme anti-immigrant policies. This oversimplification ignores diverse political views and uses fear-mongering to deepen partisan divides.
And that's what this is the problem. Like, they're so hypocritical with what they do. They act like Republicans are the criminals, just like they did with January 6th. They said the people in January 6th are so evil for looting and rioting and destroying property. And then the Black Lives Matter riots happened. And none of them had anything to say. And then these riots with ICE happened. And they're still trying to convince you that's a peaceful protest. Whatever happens to them, they say that's what you're doing. And it's so like it's gaslighting is what people call it. But it's so disgusting because it's like, yo, can y'all at least come in good faith to the table to have a good faith debate? And the answer is no, they can't. They have to smear, they have to lie, they have to show things that never happened. It'd be different. You could have a good campaign if you actually show bad things that actually happened, but they can't do that. They have to tell you a lie.